Hey yo, Sean Don here. Here we have Josh Brannen, the newest member of SDTC Technique membership. Excited to start working with him because, as you guys will see, I think his technique is pretty solid, and with some minor changes, he could be throwing really far. So now let's take a look. It's like pretty solid for pretty solid feel for the hammer, Josh. There's just as I already said via text message before this, the biggest thing I think right now is getting your right side to be much more active throughout the throw. Looking at it right now, there might be some postural things we could work on too. But so yeah, man, let's break this down in a second. But yeah, solid rhythm too, nice and smooth, nice and easy, not very herky jerky or anything like that. Levels, shoulders more or less level. So let's break it down. So through the winds, nice job turning the right side back, nice balanced weight distribution. Just weight shift over to the left side as the ball comes left, weight shifts back to right side, and then but you're still staying nice and level, like looking nice and relaxed. Your elbow, let's see. Yeah, so your elbow drops just a little bit. Here you can see it kind of pulls down on the hammer. Try to keep your elbow up and extend more with your right arm. So try to extend your right arm completely, and it's not going to happen, but try to make the effort to extend your right arm completely at 270, so that way you can connect a little bit earlier when you try to extend completely. As you can see, you don't connect until the ball, connect with the ball until the ball gets to about here, it looks like. So yeah, try to reach out to the right side and extend to the right side and create a bigger ball path for the hammer. Make it cover more distance. It's going to feel slower, but it'll help much more because the wider you get the ball on the right side over here, the wider the ball will get on the left side over there, which is a big time thing. So reach and extend that right arm more, and then additionally, as you come through 270, you need to think about turning this right side more. So like I said, that's your biggest problem right now, is this right side doesn't really do much turning. You'll see over these few frames that that right side is really just tagging along for the ride. You're not really throwing with the right leg at all. It's there, but you're not using it effectively. So as you can see, as you come through here, as you come through the last 45 degrees or so, you can see you shift back. And you're doing a pretty good job of like holding this left side. Like for the toe turn, I'm starting to change my mindset on this left hip in the entry. But the left shoulder, knee, and toe, foot, whatever, is still more or less in line. You're not really pulling that left side away too much. I think this left hip does have to go back a little bit in the entry for you to get around. But as I learn more, I'll elaborate on that eventually. Yeah, so extend more and turn this right side more. You can see because this right leg isn't doing too much, you see you shift back. Alright, so you need to use this right leg and almost extend to keep, think extending with this right leg to keep yourself over this left side just a little bit more. Like I said, you do a pretty good job, but it gets left behind. This right leg gets left behind. As the ball comes through zero, this right leg, you need to think about turning this right knee, this right femur, this right foot with the ball. But as you can see, you go to push your hands across, and this left side is kind of taken over. The right leg, like I said, gets left behind. And especially as you go through here, like this point right here is the most dramatic part. After this it starts turning, but you can see, like I said, just a little disconnected with this right side, but this left side is holding pretty well. You do a good job of holding and letting the ball go out left. Posture is decent. I think your hips could be a little bit more forwards, or your shoulders could be a little bit back more over your hips, but overall not bad. I've definitely seen worse. But you do a really good job of waiting for the ball to pass. Like your head's not too ahead. The only thing, like I said, I think is that there's these few frames right here when this right leg, or not right leg, right arm finally does extend. You can see how much ahead of the ball you are. The ball is just out of frame, but you can see the hammer wire, hammer handle is behind. So you need to get a better job of connecting with the hammer earlier on before this, like I said, around 270 in turning with the ball. This right arm, once again, extends, and at this point right here, your hands are in the right spot, but the ball is back here. It's behind. You're kind of disconnected. That's the problem with pushing too hard, is that you push too hard and people will actually end up disconnecting from the hammer. But then, as you can see, do an alright job of waiting for it, and then by the time the ball gets to about 90 degrees, you see everything's pretty square. This is good. Hips, knees, shoulders. The right leg's playing catch up, but overall pretty square, solid, level. Hips, shoulders, all that stuff is nice. As you come through single support, good right leg, quick, efficient action. Coming down flat-footed, catching just probably 40 degrees before 270. Solid posture. Hips could be a little bit more forwards, but overall very solid. And then so over the next few frames, I bet this is what. Oh, okay. Yeah. So actually, surprised. You landed flat-footed, good, and then posture's good. And then you can see, but there's still just a little left side tension through here. As the ball comes through 0 on the second turn, the right foot, you see you get this inward turn, this kind of valgus knee. That's kind of a sign that this right knee is working, but this right foot, you're not getting everything you can out of this right foot. So then as you turn, you can see you kind of come off plantar flexed. Your toes pointed towards the ground rather than, once again, turning with the hammer. Your right foot is just a little bit behind. So these frames right here, that right side's behind. You can see this left side's creating a little bit of tension as this left shoulder rises up and pulls back just a little bit. Your left heel gets down nice and early, though. That's really good. If you could just use this right leg and turn this right knee and right foot with the ball more, you'd be much more efficient. Get much more out of the throw. Otherwise, your left side holds pretty well as the ball comes through, but then you can see there's still just a little how much you come back around. I mean, that's good. You catch well. You're always back over this left side, and that's one thing. Like I said, when I looked at your videos initially, I liked you always kind of catch on this left side, which is good. But it's this right leg just needs to do more. Like I said, you can see the knee is turning, but the foot is getting left behind. And you see just a little left side shift back, just a little bit. Let the ball go long left. And once again, solid posture here, solid back over this left side. But once again, same thing. You see, it looks like you cue your right knee turning into your left knee a lot, but then you see, once again, this right leg gets left, right bottom, from the knee down, gets left behind in a way. This whole right side needs to work together. And then you can see as you come through 0, you'll see this left side start to shift away because this right side isn't working quite as efficiently as it needs to. So this left side, catch, heel comes down, and this left side should stay right here. So over the next few frames, you see that left shoulder pulls back a little bit. That left hip comes back a little bit. Not terribly so, but once again, that right side just doesn't quite hold the left side. You're just a little bit ahead of the ball. Like as you come through, so your head's facing probably just before 0, shoulder, you can, and once again, left side, left shoulder, you can see the tension. You can see you're just a little bit ahead of the ball. As you're facing 0, the ball ideally should be right at 0, or just before. Just so what this calls 35 degrees. It should be like 10-15 degrees. And you see this right femur start to turn as you come through. Left shoulder's tight, high, a little short. Ball comes a little bit shorter on the left side as the low point starts to shift just a little bit, and the high point starts to shift just a little bit past 0. Once again, doing a good job coming around and catching on this left side. So this is ideal posture. Shoulders, hips over the left side. If you could catch every turn like this, the first turn, second turn, third turn, fourth turn, your throw would be very efficient. Add in that effective right leg, and you'd be dropping bombs. You see it looks just a little tight. Try to relax just a little bit through the arms more. I know it's easier said than done. Otherwise, as you can see, so this turn's getting closer to the right idea. You can see this right leg starting to turn with the ball more. but once again still coming off plantar flex because that foot isn't quite as effective as it needs to be. Otherwise, same thing. You never quite really let the ball get free. Ball comes through zero and this left side's already acting back and pulling back rather than letting the ball come around your left side and almost letting it get ahead in a way. I know it sounds weird, but the ball just never quite gets out left. You're always just holding this left side tension just a little bit. But left side holds once again relatively well, but that left side tension is just still there. And as you come through, you can see that left side tension because you get pulled back around just a bit. You see the hips comes back down. You see how your hips sink down and kind of back till they get to this left side. Good compensation. Not necessarily a great thing, but good compensation. Solid. Catch again. Back on the left side. And then you can see how strong your left side is because as you come and you catch, as you come through, your left side straightens out, and you can see the tension, left shoulder, left bicep, left arm in general just looks tight, and you see this tension created through this left side, through these couple frames. You can see this left side just really straightening out, like a reverse accordion, I guess, like a spring. That's where you're getting a lot of power from when it needs to come from the left side or the right side. Sorry. Waiting for the ball, you stand up just a little bit early. Ideally, I'd like to see your knees bent, and they stay bent all the way through about here, and then you finally extend. You're just extending a little bit prematurely, and I think that's kind of why you. It looks like the throw lands probably somewhere over here, which is not a bad thing. But ideally, you want it to land more or less in the center. But this tension through this left side, yeah, that's not ideal. But and once again, you can see that right side, that right hip's getting into it, that right knee a little bit, but that right foot not too much. You're extending at the ankle, but you're not really getting that rotation through the right foot to really extend the hip as efficiently as possible. But you do a good job sticking the finish, pretty solid. So yeah, Josh, overall, I think you do some good things. You do some things good. Reverse that, strike that, reverse it, whatever. But yeah, if we can get this entry, get this right side a little bit longer over here, get the ball extended out more, get that elbow extended out, and then get this right foot and right knee and right side turning better in the entry. It'll turn better in the second turn, third turn, fourth turn, and through the release. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I look forward to working with you and improving your technique because, like I said, I think overall it's pretty good. Got to fix that entry posture too. Get them hips forwards. As you can see, once again, this is a little bit more back squat. You need to think more front squat, hips forwards. And you can tell because this angle right here, just a little bit of forward lean. Our hips are just a little bit back. Get this knee a little bit more over there. Get those hips a little bit more forwards. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. If anybody out there wants a technical analysis of their own, go to SeanDonnelly.biz. In-depth technical analysis on the services page, or join SDTC, get that technique membership, and get all the unlimited technical analysis you want. And yeah, maybe even sign up for a throws program or a lifting program or whatever, and start making gains, dropping bombs. Indoor season is, we're getting to the meat of it, and then outdoor season is right around the corner. So now's the time to hop aboard the train and start making them gains. All right, thanks for watching, Sean Don. Peace now.